Well, we're gonna go into the last segment. It's called the Sacred Five, because there's so much that was shared. But this is our segment. I ask 5 questions, 1 word or 1 sentence, but it's our way to give like practical things for those that are listening. So the first thing is, name 3 things that make you feel safe, connected, and whole.
Well, I'm very personal about this. One is my great companion, beautiful Trini. Finding a companion is hard. And you know this. And I've had a hard battle with it because I didn't know what it was like. I didn't know. I didn't have good models, you know. But somehow, again, Spirit brought me to this beautiful woman. We've been together 40 years. I get emotional because I can't imagine a better partner. It was almost like our spirits kept coming together, and somehow we lost each other. We were not always there. I knew her for 10 years before we came together. So I find her very important part of my life. And then, of course, it's my children, because then I bear these children, and I think, what had I done? You know, it's like that beautiful poem of Antonio Machado. What happened to the garden? The nature's telling me, what happened to the garden I gave you to tend? I messed it up. So I have these beautiful children, and I didn't tend it well. But now I have to step up and say, I'm still around. I'm still their father. I got to do it. I got to help tend them. Even though they're grown up, I'm not going to treat them like kids. I still got to tend them. My daughter just went through this terrible brain. She had 4 aneurysms and meningitis. She was in bad shape. She's doing better. I had to come step up. And both me and Trini were there for her, and the whole family showed up. We weren't sure she was going to make it. She's doing good. She's 48 years old. And there's a lot of it is her stress, diabetes, everything else she's going through. So we have to keep tending that garden that we've been entrusted. And so I feel that that's a very important part of it. The third thing would be my own gifts, whatever. I got to tend to that. That's a garden that I've been given. I can't let it get full of weeds. You know, so I feel that those are the 3 things that allow me to be more at home every time in myself.
Before I go on, I just want to honor your tears and allowing me to also cry, because when you were sharing, I felt it, but I was felting like, dang, that would be like my 3. And I don't think I tell my partner enough that she is that number 1. And so to feel your emotion and to be sync with it, I just want to say thank you for that. So the second one, what song, book, or prayer brings you back to yourself?
I have to go back to the 60s. My favorite song was Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. And I'll tell you why. It was a song that was not expected. I understood they didn't want him to do it. He could make a lot of songs just crooning, singing, whatever he was doing. He wanted to step into the world in a different way. And it taught me that we all need to do that. There's a place for all the stuff that people do, you know, romantic songs, all that's beautiful, everything's good. But he stepped to it hard. If you listen to what's going on even now, it's still prevalent. Still beautiful. And I'll tell you one quick story. I was on Stevie Wonder's show. And Stevie Wonder was my hero, man. Since I was a little kid, Stevie Wonder. I was in a show, I got to meet him. I came kind of like I got voiceless. I couldn't say the right words. Had me in his show, and at one point he asked me, well, why don't we sing a song? I said, dude, I can't sing. He said, don't worry about it. It's auto-tune. Okay. What do you want to sing? Do you want to sing Oye Como Va? Or, Bla Bamba? I don't know what he was thinking. I go, no, my favorite song, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? So there is a recording somewhere of me and Stevie Wonder. He's playing, he's got this mechanical, where he can see the music, and he's all out of tune. Me and him are singing together What's Going On. I know that's a beautiful thing that life puts together that you don't expect,
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, no.
For that memory. And this one's a good one. I'm anxious to hear this one. What's one daily ritual or practice that grounds you?
Well, there's a lot of things, but I think, believe it or not, it's when I go to my art. I feel more complete when I'm writing. And again, everybody should figure out what their art is. But I found that I do a lot of things. We have sage, we do prayer, we have a candle that we keep going for the ancestors, have an altar that we keep all year round. It's not just for Day of the Dead or something. We do a lot of things that grounds us to the world. But for me personally, and I now I use computer. I can't really write that well, so I have to. I'm just there from the computer and the words coming out of me, and whether it's a poem, a short story, just an essay. I got a Substack now, so I'm writing things. I feel more grounded there. And again, it's just something finding your place in the world through your own particular art is really important. And it could be anything. I mean, I'm writing, but other people find other things. So I would say that's probably, and again, yes, being with my wife's company, being with my kids, all that's amazing, beautiful, but it's a primary agreement we make with the world. Those are all, I hate to say secondary, but there's agreements that we have to make with job, family, and everything else. But the primary one is keeping that art alive, keeping yourself alive, keeping your soul, spirit going in the direction you were supposed to live anyway.
So then I take from that is your art form is writing. So therefore that is your primary agreement to self, that's what's going to ground me every day.
Exactly.
Got it. What's one small action listeners can take on their healing journey this week?
Well, I think healing is a constant thing. People think, well, I'm going to get healed. It's not a cure, like I'm cured. Human beings are constantly in search of healing. But I do know one thing. If you have healing in your life, you want to heal others. You become the wounded healer. And that's what you and me are become. We've been wounded in our own ways, but out of there, we become healers. And then we want to do something else. This is the hard part. I also want to heal the world. I realize that the whole world is wounded. So as I'm going to my own personal healing paths, I have to think about how can I contribute so the world can have its medicine, that I can be medicine for the world. Not everybody wants to do that, but that's something I feel.
Right, that's yours.
It's important that be part of the healing path.
All right, last one, Luis. The closing blessing, we call it. Share a one-line blessing or quote that inspires you.
What's a line from the poet Rocha? What is madness but the nobility of soul at odds with circumstance? And poets always have these layered meanings. That's one of them. I have so many of them, but that's one of them that really opened me up. Because we look at people who are artists as kind of mad. We look at mad people as kind of weird. We look at even gay and trans people as that's something wrong with them. If that's true, they're carrying the nobility of soul that can't reconcile with the world that's crushing all of us. And so in many ways, us artists, poets, even gay, trans, even, so-called mad people can be the seeds for the new kind of birth that we're looking at, because those are people that aren't going to conform necessarily. They're not going to just step into a world that others have made. They're going to find their own way. They're going to carve their own way. And I would think that's very important to remember. It's the melody of soul that has to be, met and alive and kept integral. And even if that means you have to step out of the box, step out of the whatever somebody says you need to do, keep your nobility. Don't let that get compromised.